Hi everyone, I am recording this video to give you a little bit of an explanation for your second group presentation. So let's take a look at the presentation guidelines. So if we scroll down all the way to the presentation, our project number 2 is called Sell Me Something. Now for this presentation, you are going to be working with your group. You're going to be selecting a product that you want to sell to the class. This product has to be a product that is not super popular. So for example, like the iPhone 12 or a popular car like a Tesla that we see in all advertisements, that will be a product that is well known. So that wouldn't be something that would work for the assignment. It has to be a product that is not well known and that you could like randomly find it on internet, Instagram, etc. You be creative when it comes to that. So you're going to be looking at that product and you are going to be selecting the target audience for that product. So for example, if I were to sell a beverage, which intended audience for that beverage would it be? Would it be for young adults? Would it be for teenagers? Would it be for people who are older, middle age, etc.? So you would have to make the selection of who the audience is. And you're going to explain the product to us in your presentation. So you're going to tell us who the audience is, what the product does, why is it good, why do we need it, why do you absolutely have to buy it. So think of your presentation like an infomercial. So any infomercial that you have seen on TV, that's kind of how this presentation works out. You're selling us and pitching a product for us, and you are telling us why we should buy it. So if you look at any advertisement that you watch on TV in the past few months or days, that will be a great example to follow for you to do this project. Your skit or presentation has to be 5 to 6 minutes. And again, like I mentioned to you before, it has to be like an infomercial that you are selling this product for us. So just for the guidelines of the presentation, your presentation is 5 to 6 minutes, a minimum of 5 minutes, a maximum of 6. Make sure that you stick to your time limits. A lot of you did go under time or overtime last time. So last time I didn't really penalize you that much when it came to your grade, but this time around I will, because we have already gone through our first round of the project. So make sure that you meet a minimum of 5 minutes and you do not surpass the 6-minute mark. Make sure that you have to submit an outline and a presentation. Your presentation, again, has to be done in a YouTube video format. And again, you can go back to what you did for last project. It's still open for you to see as to how you did your last project. Go over those instructions and those guidelines again. You also have to have 3 sources to support your ideas. So for this particular project, you are going to need 3 outside sources to support your ideas. The sources could be about the intended audience. They could be about the product themselves, a similar product, how to pitch a product to the audience. Any of those types of sources would be okay for this presentation. You also have to submit an outline, just like you did with the last presentation. The outline has to be in MLA format. It has to have in-text citations. It has to be in Roman numerals, and it has to be in complete sentences. Remember that just like last time, one person has to submit the outline and one person needs to submit the presentation. That's what it's required. So really quickly, going over the rubrics, I'm just going to go over the rubric of the presentation because the rubric of the outline is similar to the one that we did last time. Very similar. The only thing that changes is the use of sources. So for the presentation, or rubric is going to look like this. So for the presentation rubric, as you can see, your presentation is worth 70 points. Your outline is worth 30 points, adding up to a total of 100 points for the project. And again, this is a group grade, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to be looking at 4 different areas for your presentation. The first area is the prompt. Basically, that's worth 20 points. And basically, it's looking at you describing the product to us, how the product works, telling us who the audience is, and I'm going to be looking at the persuasive techniques that you and your group use to sell us the product. The second area that I'm going to be looking at is the group work. Again, cohesiveness. Did you all work together well? Did you all divide the work equally? Was everybody involved? For the third part that I'm going to be looking at is the presentation editing. Again, you need to do some editing when it comes to your YouTube video. So make sure that your video is uploaded onto YouTube. Make sure that it has accurate closed captions. Again, refer back to the sections that I have at the top of our Canvas page. and even in our last presentation to look at how to make sure that our closed captions are accurate. Next, I'm also having you look that it's in the appropriate lighting and volume. Last presentation, I had a hard time hearing a couple of you, so make sure that you're adjusting your volume. The last thing that I'm going to be looking at is the format. Make sure that the presentation does meet the assigned time limits. And with this one, I'm going to go into a little more detail. So you will get full credit if you hit 5 to 6 minute timed format. However, if you are overtime, more than one, like if you are 1 minute overtime, you are going to be looking at a half credit in this section of the presentation. But if you are under the 5 minute mark, you're going to be looking at a 0 in this aspect of the presentation. So the best way that I like to explain it is that it is better to be overtime than undertime. So that's what your presentation is going to be looking like. Again, the rubric looks exactly the same way for the outline like you did last time. So let's take a quick look at it. It looks exactly the same. It just has more points. So for this one, the outline is in bullet points, complete sentences. It contains all the parts of the presentation on YouTube, and it has the names of who contributed to that part. And lastly, it contains the 3 sources in MLA format. You have in-text citations as to where you use the sources, and you do have a works cited at the end of your project. Very simple. So if you have any questions in regards to this, don't forget to shoot me an email or send me a Canvas message. I am here to help you out, and I am really excited to see what you can do for your project. If you have any questions as to what type of product or whether your product works or doesn't work for this presentation, again, contact me through email and I will be able to help you out. This presentation is due next week on October 30th, so plan accordingly. Talk to you soon.